I am Lisa Doyle. I am with Sereno here in the East Bay, real estate agent. And we've had so many times over the many years, but even more so today, it feels like people that are in our area, Liz, we work in the East Bay, which is Danville, Walnut Creek, San Ramon, people in our suburban East Bay. Everyone's planning retirement. We have so many longtime clients that say to me every day, so we're thinking retirement, where do we go, right? Where do we leave this beautiful Northern California, which we all love? But there's lots of reasons why our market isn't necessarily where people would decide to stay long-term, right? Retirement, it's expensive here. And, real estate prices are high and people want options. What if I sell my home here? Where do I go? And I don't want to leave my children and all that. So that's why I wanted to introduce you guys to someone very special, my good friend, Liz Fry. Thank you, Liz.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Yeah, you're right. I get a lot of people coming from the Bay Area that are retiring out here. And interestingly enough, they bring their kids actually with them after a while. So they move into the area, they find out how wonderful of an area it is, and it's an affordable area still. And so oftentimes the rest of the family come up here too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I've seen that. I've seen multiple clients of ours going in your direction,
Right.
and that's awesome. So what I wanted to do, and I know one of the biggest challenges I have so many clients right now that are in the space of, we know it's not possible for us to stay here long-term, like Danville or whatever, but they're afraid to leave their kids, right? They don't want to leave the grandbabies, and they don't want to go to Arizona or wherever because they want to be. So the reason why I wanted to start this series with you. Partly because you're awesome and your area is great, but also because you're such a close proximity to us. It may be the best of both worlds for people. Maybe they could leave the area that's a little bit more expensive and then retire to where you work, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Right. And they're still not very far from their kids. So I love that. So you're in an area, you're in Solano County. So tell us, we're going to be highlighting several of the cities that you work, and of course, details about your market. But tell the viewers, because of course, before they leave here and they go to your area and trust you to help them, it'd be good for them to know a little bit about your background. So, how long have you been in the real estate business?
Oh, absolutely. I've been selling real estate in this area for 38 years. I love it. Never have gotten tired of it. And I've just really enjoy the people here. I love the community. So yeah, we're here. We're here to stay. I work with my husband, Mark, and so we work together with our clients, and we also have a team here in Vacaville at the Intero Vacaville office.
Very nice. Yeah. So you are the Fry team at Intero, right?
That's right.
So tell us, I know you also have, your children in the business with you. Is that right? At least one of your children?
We have a marketing manager that is in the business with us. Yeah. I used to have a daughter in the business, but she's moved on to another career.
Yeah, well, that happens. It's such a wonderful industry. I've been in the business my whole life as well, but it's definitely it's a hard work for sure. Anything worth building is hard, but it's not necessarily for all of our kids for sure. I know I have 3, and only one of them is a candidate, which she works with me. So what we wanted to do, Liz, is share the cities, like an overview of the cities you work. You're part of Solano. And then we're going to focus in on one specific city and give some details. So yeah, what are all the areas that you specialize?
Okay, so we talked about kind of focusing today on Vacaville, but Solano is a very diverse county. It's consisting of a northern Solano County and southern Solano County. So northern Solano County is Dixon and Vacaville, Fairfield, Sassoon, and parts of Winters. And then southern Solano County is Vallejo and Benicia and American Canyon.
Perfect.
And then it's sort of out there. I'm not quite sure if we call that northern or southern. I think it's northern.
Yeah, I know people do ask me a lot about the Rio Vista area, because I think you guys, that area is kind of known for the over 55 retirement community of Rio Vista, right? So,
and it's a nice fishing, a nice place to go if you like boating and fishing, and it's a really beautiful area. It gets windy there, but it's a very nice area.
Yeah. Well, what I love about people having the idea of retiring to your market is because what some people say to me when we're talking about where we are, which is, like they said, the East Bay, gosh, it's so hard to leave here and go to like Texas and although those are beautiful places, and we're going to be talking about those cities as we move along this series of interviews, but they don't want to leave the Northern California area because we have Napa's closed in San Francisco and Lake Tahoe. And so we're if they were to move from our area to your area, everyone still has all those beautiful places to go. You just, you're not very far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, awesome. So let's talk about Vacaville. I know we've got some slides to share and some details because people always want to know, okay, so I'm going to leave Danville. I'm going to sell my house that's 1.8 or 2 million or whatever, because they don't want to keep all of their retirement. A lot of people have a lot of their retirement wealth is inside of their homes, right? They might own a home free and clear, or they want to take their money and go do more with it and have it spread farther. So I know you're going to share with us values in that. So we can share that screen.
All right. So Vacaville is a community that many people have driven by over the years. It was known for many years historically for the nut tree, which was started off as a fruit stand and developed into sort of an like a beautiful restaurant, entertainment area. There was the airport. People would fly in. They would have the pumpkin patch and just these amazing cookies they used to make. And anyway, it was a beautiful mecca for people to come in from all over the country. And since, now it's turned into something different, but it's still really special. But Vacaville, once people get off the freeway and learn a little bit more about it, they're always very, very pleasantly surprised. There's so much beautiful countryside all around Vacaville. You've got the hills around Vacaville on the west side. So, and it's located, right in between San Francisco and Sacramento. So it's like a 45-minute drive or 50-minute drive each way. We're only about 35 minutes from Napa. And of course, easy to get to every place else. Sorry about that. I kind of messed that up.
Well, you know what I love too, Liz, about this conversation, because we're aiming this message towards potential future retirees, right? People that really are talking to us because that's such a huge segment of our market. But now that people are getting their permission, even after COVID, to work from home, I would say your market could be even a potential place where someone could live and be working in the city and be working in the other areas. So this is such a great conversation for everyone, not just the future retirees,
Absolutely. And with Prop 19, it makes it so nice where people can, move their tax basis over to our area. So if you can see here, we're one of the 9 Bay Area cities. So we're the Orange County. And we have 45 minutes from Walnut Creek, 45 minutes to Sacramento, 40 minutes to the Sacramento International Airport, 35 to Napa. And then our population is about 100,000 people. And everybody always asks about our temperatures because it does get warm here. This week we might hit 108, but that's unusual. So our average temperatures in August are 93 degrees and 59 at night. We do have a nice sway of temperature change between day and night, which is really nice.
That is nice.
We can open the windows up and turn on the whole house fan and it just cools the house. It's so beautiful.
Exactly. I know our area, you guys aren't a whole lot more heated than East Bay. I would say for those that are in our general market, which is like Livermore to Clayton, Walnut Creek, the 680, 580, that's kind of our average temp in August too, about 90s.
And actually, Napa, it gets hot in Napa too. It's just, has that cool morning, from the ocean. So that's nice.
Awesome.
All right. So then, so Vacaville, downtown Vacaville is, it's just a thriving downtown. We've got restaurants, we've got other businesses, we've got shops, and it's just a place where everybody goes. Here, it's very busy actually every day of the week it's busy. And so people come down. Vacaville Farmers Market is down there. It's in a park that's right downtown. And we have events like, Creek Walk, that's concert series every weekend. We have concerts. We have Merriman on Main, where they close the streets down and everybody goes out. And it's just really super sweet area. So very thriving downtown.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. for people that are wanting to retire, they want to be able to do things and, have their families come and visit where they get to do things. And so you guys have, a lot of events and, there's a lot to offer in the area that most people don't know.
Right. There's always something to do. In fact, I probably only get to go to maybe 20% of it. And
Yeah.
I try. I try to go to more, but there's always so much to do here. So it keeps you busy. There are a lot of things for kids too. So for grandkids and then right downtown also there's the McBride Senior Center, which they have a lot of activities and stuff there too.
Cool.
The other fun thing is that Vacaville in Solano County is an agricultural, basis county. In fact, most of our income for the county, it comes from agriculture. And we have an area called Pleasance Valley, which has small farmers that are and very diverse. So you'll see everything there from fruits and nuts and olives and lavender and herbs and honey. And they're just, everybody's kind of producing different things from their land. And that we live on Pleasance Valley as well. So we have a permaculture farm there. And we see this area developing out to more of an ag tourism area. So you can come and enjoy the whole day.
Oh, I love that. So you have like an agricultural area inside of the community that you live? Is that
right? So what Vacaville has, the city itself, the limits, right? So it's very well, I guess, designed so that as soon as you leave the city limits, we have this really wonderful agricultural, rural, residential areas that are very accessible. And then they have their own kind of like we have Pleasance Valley, which is more agriculture and more small farms. And then we have like English Hills, which are little ranchettes, 2.5 to 5 acres. But people, will have horses and grow stuff and everything on the 2.5 to 5 acres. It's just a little bit different, maybe a little bit more residential. Yeah. And so it's just a really diverse in that whole area. And a lot of people are coming up to buy property here, and they're doing a couple of homes on the property and doing multi-generational type things. Some people come up and say, I want to do a compound. so
Yeah.
We have that opportunity here.
I was going to say, we're helping a family right now that there's 6 of them, and they just bought over 100 acres in Texas to make a compound. And I said, gosh, I bet that there are areas not out of California where that would also be possible. So your area would tend to land in that direction if they go a little bit out, right? A little outside. Yeah.
With the zoning, you can do, the house any size you want. An ADU, which would be in agriculture zoning, would be 1,800 square feet. Wow. And then you can also have a, junior ADU. And we have properties you could buy next to each other. So you could have 2 separate parcels and you could technically get, 6 units there.
Exactly. That's super fun. I love that idea. The whole compound. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. Okay. Here's a little bit more about the Nut Tree. Nut Tree has a lot of shops and restaurants there, and they have they carried over the original Nut Tree with the carousel and the play, it's a little play area for the kids, and they have a little train. So it's just, we always take our grandchildren over there. They have a good time. And then that's right next to the Nut Tree Airport. So the Nut Tree Airport is really, it's great. People fly in from all over, and then they can go to the Nut Tree. So
yeah, and I know you have a little plane too, right?
I do. Yeah, I have an amphibious plane, so I can fly it right up to Lake Berryessa, which is very close too.
I love that. I know people with small planes. My uncle has a small plane, or had one, and they would fly in and out of like LA to here. You could, so for someone who wants to be able to zip in and out, the airport there is close. So fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mark and I flew up to Clear Lake Saturday and had lunch. They have an incredible restaurant at that airport. I don't know why, but it's really, really good. So, but that's really fun. Yeah, flying up to Clear Lake.
So much fun.
Yeah. And then we have the Vacaville Premium Outlet. So they have 130 outlets, and people come from all over to go to them. And what I like about it is, if I want one thing, I'm not much of a shopper. I like to go in and out, so I know which store to go to. I just run in there, jump in and jump out, and I'm done. So, but it's 130 stores and they're premium. They're nice.
Yeah, awesome. I know I've been to those outlets. They are nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of opportunity for getting outdoors here. Like this is Lagoon Valley. There's multiple hiking trails there.
Mhm.
There's other open space like behind a couple of different residential areas in town where you can go hiking up in the hills there. And then we've got some hiking and biking trails that go through the town too.
Yeah, I love that. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Everyone wants in retirement, they look for, costs of housing, which I know you're going to talk about in a minute, and things to do, things for family to do, and then things to enjoy that are serene. Get out in nature and enjoy the serene because that is what brings us all, the joy and stuff. So that's awesome.
Right. And we have Solano Land Trust here. So there's quite a few properties that Solano Land Trust manages that allows people to get out onto the land, whether it be, out in the Delta area or up in the hills or, we've got a new park over in Fairfield.
Mhm.
It's actually, you can ride horses on it and everything. It's really neat.
Yeah, awesome.
We have transportation centers, so we have buses that can, take you around different areas. We have little places you can go, and then we also have a new train station that is on the Amtrak. So you can jump on the Amtrak, the one that comes from Sacramento,
Mhm.
and then go down to San Jose. It's
Easy.
kind of nice.
How long
No
would that take?
traffic.
Exactly. And an example, how long would that take? So just in case someone's still working a couple days a week, if you took that train to San Jose, how long would that take approximately?
I've done it several times, and I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes, something like that.
Oh my
You
God.
get to kick back, get on the internet, have a coffee or a glass of wine or something. So it's nice.
What's great to know about that, Liz, is that my main market is the 680, which is like Danville, San Ramon, Pleasanton, and that. So a lot of people live in our area, and for years they've commuted to the South Bay, Silicon Valley, and they work there. It takes longer than that to drive there during traffic. So
Hmm.
you could easily live in your area and enjoy all the benefits of everything and still work a few days a week and enjoy the train and, or I guess the bus and enjoy that. That's awesome. Great.
The trick is getting off when you're supposed to get off, because I've missed that. I missed it a couple times. I ended up in Davis, had to have people come pick me up.
Yeah. If you're relaxing and enjoying yourself,
Headphones in.
but I love that. I mean, I'm like, I was even talking to my oldest daughter, Felicia, who works with us. And so she's in her 30s. And we were chatting this morning about you and I talking today. And she said, gosh, even people her age, they're even thinking that even though they're not retiring, but hey, where would we go? Maybe we go there now and buy a home. Where do we want to retire in 20 years or 15 years or whatever? And, so this is even younger people who think maybe they want to still buy a home there, they could stay there and retire after they're done working. I mean, there's just so much options, Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have changed now. So, like you said, it makes it easier to work out of your house, even if you were commuting 3 days a week or something like that. That wouldn't
Yep.
be bad.
And most of the companies, we do a lot of work with, clients that work for Google and Facebook and, Zoom and all the different companies and the tech companies. And most of them are telling their employees, Facebook, they're all telling them that there's a good likelihood that they'll get the opportunity to work from home a lot, even after COVID is complete. Like we're done with all of the, issues that we've had. So this is kind of an advantage. One of the good things that's come out of this, horrible last year and a half, at least some goods come out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Good.
And so I figured we, let you know about the different hospitals in the area, because that's always very important. So
Yeah.
we have a newer Kaiser Hospital here in Vacaville, and it's actually the trauma center as well for the area. So they, they handle pretty much everything right there in Vacaville. North Bay also is a really great healthcare facility, hospitals and offices. So they're, and then we also have Sutter. It's not on here, but we have Sutter, North Bay, and Kaiser.
Yeah, that is always a question that people do ask me if they are. A lot of people who live in our area, we have 3 different Kaiser locations. A lot of people have Kaiser as their insurance, and that is one of the biggest concerns that they have is if they move out of state, how do they handle that? So this is perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have fitness centers all over town. So if you want to get fit, you got plenty of places to do it here.
And they're open again.
And
Yay.
they're open, right? And we have Costco.
Yeah, that's good.
Costco right here, right smack in the middle of the town, right off the freeway. There's the McBride Senior Center. So there's all kinds of great things, and you can do yoga or whatever. There's all kinds of stuff going on over there. And then we have the Vacaville Cultural Center as well, which is, so there's a library by both of those buildings, and a lot of events and things happen at the Cultural Center.
Nice.
So we don't have, like big new retirement, we're not that. We're basically more of a family oriented town that has some retirement properties here. So you can buy, Vacaville is a very safe town. It's very connected. People are just super nice people that help each other. I have a breast cancer foundation here, and I just have so much support from the community and the businesses and so on. And so, but it is really more of a family town, lots of great things for the kids to do. I was telling Lisa earlier that there's no really bad area in Vacaville. It's all good. And so you could live anywhere in town. If you wanted to buy a 1-story in a subdivision somewhere, you could do that. The average price just in Vacaville is about $500,000 right now. And I'd say probably when the next stats come out, it's probably going to be more like 540.
Okay. So if a person wanted to buy, like on average, so the families that we help, typically they might have a big home here and they want to downsize, retire, get a single story, maybe something a little bit on the newer side. If someone was to buy like a 2,000 or 2,500 square foot newer 1-level 3 or 4 bedroom, that would be approximately how much? If it's in a nice newer, maybe
I'd say $750 to $850.
Okay, perfect. Because that is a very sought after price bracket. Even if they're going to other states now, prices have risen. So that's awesome. That's wonderful. And then the Diamond, I think it says Diamond Cove. Is that right? Diamond Grove.
Diamond Grove, Spinnaker Cove, Maplewood, and Leisure Town.
Okay.
Those are our 4 areas. Leisure Town has been around for a long time. Those were originally, homes were originally being built there for 55 and older back like in, late 60s.
Yeah.
And then over the years, there's been different parts that have built out. So they're kind of all different ages there. It has an HOA that has, facilities, and they have a gym and a swimming pool. Those HOA fees are really low there. They're around $1,000 a year.
Wow, that's good. It's really good.
Yeah. So that's nice. And then so there you can buy something, a nice place for $550.
Wow. That's awesome. And I know you are close enough to the Rio Vista area, which I have a lot of clients who ask about that. They like to know about that's a very nice community, senior community, right?
Yes. That's a planned senior community with a golf course, gated. So that's kind of a whole different thing, but it's really nice over there.
For sure. It's close enough that, so what would be the approximate average price of something like that too? Because people want to know the gated,
Well, I haven't actually been over there lately, but what I've seen over the years is that they're fairly similar in pricing as they are over here.
Okay.
So nice. It just kind of depends on what you choose.
Awesome. Yeah. Very good.
So then Diamond Grove, that's a gated community as well. And that one is a little newer houses. So those ones are like in the 500 to 550 range. So they're all kind of similar in that range. But if you want something that's bigger, like you said, 2,500 square feet, then you'd need to go out into, into like the regular subdivisions.
Right.
So do you have any other questions about these developments?
No, not at all. I think one of the things, because we are right in the heart of Blackhawk, right? We have golf courses in every one of our cities, lots of people that will golf in our area, and they always want to look for golf courses. And I know you have some beautiful ones there as well. So that would be something to share.
We do. We've got Paradise. Oh, they're there. So we got Paradise Golf Course. We've got Green Valley Country Club, which is private. We've got Rancho Solano. So Rancho Solano and Paradise are public golf courses, really well maintained, very, they're really nice to play on, and everybody really likes those. And
Yeah,
then there's a new development that's happening out here. It's been in the works for a long time.
oh no, I think I lost Liz. Well, hopefully she will rejoin. If not, thank you all for tuning in. I will bring Liz, her information, of course, we'll post on this video. But Liz Fry, my dear friend, who you just got a chance to meet regarding her area. I mean, the whole Vacaville market, again, one of the biggest questions people have for me all the time is, where do we retire to? So hopefully this gave you guys a little insight on a possible city where you don't even have to leave California. You could stay close to your grandkids who live in the Bay Area and still have all the benefits of significantly lower prices and beautiful homes and tons of fun things to do. So take care, all of you. Take care. Thank you so much for joining. And what's fun is every week, I'm going to highlight a different city across the country. I'm going to start with a few California cities that I think everyone might want to know about. And then I'm going to be talking with some good friends from Idaho, Texas, Arizona, Florida, all of the places, Utah, where all of my clients are navigating to. And that way you guys might have a little bit of, maybe, a little bit of insight on places that you might want to consider retiring to. Take care, stay well. See you all soon.